Thank you for the opportunity. It was in 2016, I was involved in a business venture with another colleague, and he introduced me to the industry. We started off with rosehip. So one of the pioneers in the rosehip industry in South Africa was a guy by the name of Ed Cressy, who passed away a few years ago. And I was introduced to him, and we started looking into the wild collection of products, in South Africa. And that's how we started. And we just started as a thing where we saw people in the industry, or not in the industry, people in rural communities where products are growing all around them, but they do nothing with the product. And then we started getting them involved. Interesting and very challenging, industry, because the first thing that you have to do is you have to identify certain products. Like for instance, let's just work on the rosehip for now, where we started. So when we look at the rosehip side, we identified the product. The first thing that I did was I did some market research to see, is there a market for the product? Mm-hmm. So I did a few things on the internet, doing some testing the waters to see. And when that took place, and I saw, well, there's a market for the product, then we started going into communities where these products were growing. And it's not everywhere where it's grown. There's just like certain patches where it just grow, call it naturally. So what we've done is we go from village to village and find out, and look around and see where the product is growing. And when we establish that, we start talking with the community leaders or the chiefs, of the villages. So we're starting building a relationship with the traditional leader, and they really do welcome it. But at the end of the day, there's two ways about it. You can't just go in there and plunder. You make arrangements with the community, with the chief, everything, and then you come to agreement that you will do some wild collection in the area. And then, of course, you pay the people accordingly. The thing with wild collection is you can only take from the land what the land is giving you. You can't take more. And we've seen over the years now, we're talking about 4 years now, how inconsistent it can be. Or some seasons, you get like a bumper crop, but other seasons it's a bit low. So on the sustainability side of things, when we look at the plant side, where we do the harvesting, there's a lot of training involved there, because you have to work with the people, make sure they don't damage the product that you are harvesting. We use these words. We say this plant is like a boss paying your salary every time for you. If you kill him, it's going to give you nothing more. So we try to bring that across to them. So that is on the sustainability side of things to receive it. But when it comes to a consistent supply for the clients, the way we do it is that we don't overcommit ourselves with clients, because we've got a client base, a fixed client base, and we supply them with certain volumes. So when they come with large volumes and say they want, let's say 7 tons, and we know we can't supply them, or it will be a challenge if we supply them with 7 tons, and the next year we will not be able to commit to that. What we'll do is we will give them 5 tons, and we'll know that we will be able to supply them 5 tons. And if there's a new client coming on board, we will also be able to bring them in and maybe say, yes, we can supply you 1 ton for this season. And then as you enlarge your territory, with the wild harvesting, you can start bringing in bigger volumes. When it comes to quality, at the end of the day, you have to begin with the beginning for quality. So first of all, the important thing is that we see that there's no pesticides being sprayed in the area and any form of pesticides being used. The advantage of wild collection is that the areas where we collect this product is in the rural areas. So that is the majority of the area. I would say about 90 to 99% of our area that is wild collected with which is free from pesticides. So what we then do is, on the quality side, is we start with the harvester. make sure that the product they deliver is clean. We give them bags from ourselves, that they don't use their own bags. We show them where to store the product. If we haven't collected, we do like a once a week collection. So in that week, we make sure they store it at the right place. We train them. You can't store this next to paraffin, diesel, any other type of chemical. And it's actually very nice, if you go to the areas and you see our people, because they take pride in it. You must understand, because they live from the land. So they take pride in it, and they show you the area that they clean, and they put the bags there in it. So that is where you start. You start with the harvester, and then you work it back right into your processing plant. We want quality oil to be delivered to the end user. So we take all the factors in mind. So first of all, we look at the product when we start harvesting the product. You don't want the product to stand still for a long time or get mold and things like that. So those are the things that you completely phase out. Then the next thing that you do is when it comes into your plant, you want to process it as quick as possible. So you must have the capabilities. Your plant must be big enough to handle the capacity of the plant material, or the like in the rapeseed oil, you have the capacity to do it. The vegetable oils is a little bit different than your essential oils. But with your vegetable oil, yes, the product can stand a bit longer. But on your plant material, like your Electricium or your Artemisia afra, those things you want to put into your pot as quick as possible to process. But on the other side, when your oil is now coming out, you want to store it to the best possible means. So we make use of on the vegetable oils, we make use of stainless steel. So our products only go through stainless steel, containers, and then up to a point where we ship it to a client. Then it will go into a plastic container from there. Then you store it in a cool place. It mustn't be exposed to light. You don't want to expose it to oxygen, because oxygen just destroys it. The oils, what we do with our oils, we've got some labs that we send our oils to. When we do our oils, to test our oils. And there's also some processes that one can do prior to the time, to make sure that you deliver a good quality oil. On the rapeseed oil or vegetable oils, you want your oil to be pressed as cold as possible. And then also when you adjust your heads, you want to do it as slow as possible. Now, some people, they want to push volumes, then they turn the RPMs of the presses up, to get the oil out as quick as possible. We don't do that. We run it as slow as possible, and all that we do is we just buy more heads to do the same volume with a better quality of oil. Because it's no use you press that oil out, get it out, and at the end of the day, 6 months down the line, it becomes rancid. We have a specific company that looks at our oil. They send it off for the tests, and they give us feedback, on that. And according to that, we can see where our oils fit in, and when we, comply to these standards. The important thing also about the type of standards, it becomes sometimes difficult when the market determines a standard. When you've got let's say new oil, on the market, which is not, very popular, it's important for you as a producer to get that standard in sooner than what the market is specifying it to you. Else you will have to get it up to a certain, level, or it's not always that the quality of the oil is bad because of certain, levels. It's because people saw something, or somebody told them about, or there was an oil that was testing that level, and then they want that same oil to be, or that oil, or that species into that level. But when you look at different areas, with your plant material, and it's like amazing, 10 to 20 kilometer difference from one area to another area. The oil differs, like for instance, if we take electricium, dorytism, for instance, within 10 kilometer radius, we've got different camphor, levels, huge differences, like a 30 to 40% different level in camphor. It happens. So you must try to get the standard yourself, if you can. Because we are organic certified on our products, you first have to take your labels to the organic certification body. They then determine this is what you have to put onto the label, and it has to be on a certain sequence on the label, and we conform then to those standards of the organic certification body.